because, you know, it was nice.
Right. So we're ready for another beer. Oh yeah.
This is a Barbarian style lager.
If anybody is down for a good goose.
I'm down,
Always down
for
for
a
a
good
ghost story.
Yes.
So we have a Bavarian style lager now.
What is the Urban Chestnut is the name of the brewery? I've never even
Yes.
heard
Yes.
of them.
I'm not sure what the ABV is though.
Where is it on this can? Let's see. Get it. It's not where it was before.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pour it, we'll take a look again afterwards. So who's this one by?
Urban Chestnut.
No, not that one. The
No,
one you're
it
working
is.
Or this is it's the same.
on. Urban Chestnut?
Yep.
Yes.
Are they all from the same place?
Except for one.
Okay. You probably said that already, and I was not.
No, you're good. No, I don't think I did. So.
I don't think he did either. I just know he said the St. Louis theme.
Realistically, I wish I could have gotten the four and got 4 different ones. That just didn't
It's all right, because while you were at a
happen.
brewery,
I was really there for a wedding, so it's kind of hard to.
Could have brought some out in your pocket, man.
Well, I was going through my beer fridge. I was like, I bet they've never had any of these, so I'm going with it.
That looks nice
do
and
this.
light. It looks like the last one, except
Right.
for maybe a little more yellow colored.
yeah. So the other one was actually a little hazy too. This one doesn't look quite so.
So-
Maybe it wasn't. I'll call the other one like more cloudy,
So
and
this
this
guy-
one's a little bit more clear.
So this is a lager style, you know, so.
And it has a lot more carbonation than the last one. I can already tell.
I like the way the bubbles are moving.
Yeah, they're just like continuously just rolling up.
If we can't find ABV, I can always use Untappd. I'm sure it's on.
Right.
Wouldn't be the first time we haven't had an alcohol content rating on something.
Right.
Untappd's definitely my cheat sheet. So nice.
Yeah, it works really good.
Except for the ones that have no descriptions on here, like you're no good.
Right.
So talking about the lager style,
So
I've been watching the Craft Beer Guys channel. There's some craft beer fellows out of the UK, and they recently went to Czechoslovakia, where they were going around a Czechoslovakian brewery, where basically it's a state-owned brewery, and it's literally like from like the communist days.
Oh yeah.
And it's still 100% state-owned, and they were sitting there talking about the different things they do because they don't have to make a profit. But because it's the Czechoslovakian state beer, they just, you know, sell a ton of them.
Right.
This was like Budvar or something. I've seen Budvar before at Jungle Gyms, and it just looked like an alcohol Bud Light, particularly being a lager. I'm going to have to find one of those if I get back down there again.
Oh yeah.
So this beer, I don't like it quite as much as the last one. It's not as bready as
Right.
the last one.
I still think it's good.
It's good. It
Tastes like
tastes
a lager.
more like a beer, yeah.
So,
Like a-
so the Urban Chestnut,
basic
this one
beer.
is this can's called. It says it's called a Zwinkle.
Zwinkle.
I like it.
It's Zwinkle.
It's
I
a
like that.
5.2%.
5.2 percenter, and the can itself is primarily blue with the Zwinkle logo. We've got some kind of plant growing out of it, like a little bit of a hops in a glass there.
This thing says it's an unfiltered, unpasteurized German classic that finishes as a smooth drinking, vitamin rich, so you're getting your vitamins. Naturally clouded beer, hops, I have no idea. And Turo and Pilsner is the malt.
Well, it's a healthy beer since you're getting the vitamin rich. So let's see.
It's good for you. Drink more of it.
That's right. No, it tastes. I think it's good. It tastes like a basic lager. It's. I've noticed about these two if maybe their thing is like smooth beers because I think they're both really smooth.
Even though I've noticed on the cans too, it's a series.
I noticed
That's
that.
series 1 and that's series 2.
I don't
Yeah.
feel like this one's smooth. I think the last one was.
I think I like the bubbles in the last one better. This one here. It's very much a basic lager. And we're a little bit warm today, and I think if this lager was served as cold as lagers need to be, this would be a damn good beer.
I think it is a pretty good one.
Like steak restaurant kind of a, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Steak restaurant needs some kind of like fancy setting with big meat. It's a big meat to put in my mouth in this beer to wash it down.
Yes, right. Like the big meat in the mouth.
Right. So I feel like, let's see. I think it's smooth because it's like I'm comparing it to a Budweiser or like Yingling, and it just doesn't have that like hoppy kick that those kind of do. That's like I don't know.
I definitely there was the old bitter beer face thing, and
Yeah.
not of that.
No, not at all. Okay, that's where I think it's kind of smooth. It's a there's no kick to it. It's just like
it's an unoffensive good lager.
mm-hmm.
It's a very good example
I
of a
agree.
lager.
I'm a
Could be
little bit
colder
offended,
and
but
it
whatever.
could be-
Ariana's offended by
I'm
beer.
offended.
You're offended.
Yes.
I'm offended that you're offended,
I'm
Right,
offended
like-
that you're
and Blake's offended that you're offended that I'm offended.
What the hell,
We gotta
guys?
boycott you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Missy, she's not offended. She's just having fun watching the chaos drinking a beer.
That's right, exactly. I'm kind of like, this is fun.
I'm gonna go on Twitter or what is it now? What's the new one now?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
that stupid one that like
Facebook started up if you got like a fucking Instagram threads or something.
Yeah, and
I haven't
it's
even seen that.
I've seen it, and I feel like somebody's already complained about it, saying that they ask for a lot of personal information, even like your health data. And I think that's the one that's doing it, unless there's another new one out. But this person complained and said you can't, like, if you have one of those accounts, you can't deactivate it unless you deactivate your whole Instagram.
Well, like the funny thing about it, I saw that basically Ariana, and for those who aren't paying attention, I think it is Threads. Basically, Facebook in the last day or so decided to launch their Twitter killer, which is this thing called Threads. Apparently, when the great and mighty Muskrat fired all those Twitter guys, Zuckerberg over at Facebook started snatching them up.
Oh God!
They started just snatching the shit out of them because all these brilliant techs that worked at Twitter forever. It's another social media platform. Why the hell not snipe them? Good brains to use because
That's funny.
Facebook is Facebook, but it's not being ran like Twitter, which is Elon. Let's face it, Elon Musk. He's got too many hands in too many things,
Right.
and so they started putting together their own killer. And like more or less, if you already have an Insta account, you're pretty much in to be able to set up one of those thread accounts. So they were all sitting there touting about, oh, they got 30 million users on their first day, blah blah blah.
Well, they already had Instagram
Well,
and Facebook.
yeah, it's all this. It's all different flavors of the same thing. But the funny part is that I also read because that was yesterday that it launched. Today, Twitter already sent a cease and desist letter because they're concerned that all the Twitter developers they hired were just giving over trade secrets to the Threads people. And they're like, you can't steal our stuff. It's okay to make your own thing, but it's unfair to steal our stuff. And it's like,
Intellectual property.
intellectual property is one thing, but Elon fired all those guys, and none of the developers, according to what I read, none of the developers directly involved with Threads actually wrote the code, or from Twitter actually wrote the code for Threads. They may have been a consultant on it and said, hey, we did it like this, but they didn't actually write the code. So it's like,
That's funny.
neat. It's like that Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg fist fight that's supposed to happen, cage match.
I've been seeing that. I just thought that was like a complete joke. Are they actually going to do that?
No, it's just
Okay.
some fucking internet.
It's
meme
the way
shit.
that it keeps sounding. It's sounding more and more realistic, and I'm like, that would be really funny. Like,
2 billionaires duking it out.
yeah, absolutely.
I'd watch that.
I would live stream the shit out of that.
There's mine, Blake's, and Ronald's.
Basically, if Musk loses, he has to go fly on one of his Starship rockets to Mars.
That's funny.
And if
Oh, he doesn't have to go on Titan. Too early.
no, it's never too early for us.
Mhm.
And if the Facebook dude loses, he gets Facebook jailed. But for real,
I feel like if he loses, then he has to expose himself as the robot lizard person everybody says he is.
well, I think
Like, he has to pull the skin back, and then you have to see his lizard, his scales, and all that shit.
I'm thinking the fight would do that alone, because if he really starts losing badly to Cyborg Elon Musk, he's just gonna rip the face off, and you're gonna see a Velociraptor head and claws
That's
pop
great.
out.
I feel that would be a good celebrity deathmatch thing.
Right?
That would be so
Dude,
awesome.
I was just talking about celebrity deathmatch not too long ago.
That would be awesome. They'd have
Are you
like,
too young for that show?
Probably.
You've never seen it? Oh, it was this awesome claymation MTV like boxing ring thing where they had
They would take two different celebrities. It was all claymation.
they were like very similar type celebrities. Like
Yeah.
it had like Marilyn Manson and who was he fighting?
Ozzy.
Marilyn Manson and Ozzy. So then it would be like, because it's claymation, there would be like some fake shit going on. They had like special moves, and it was like audio commentated by like, they actually had like the guy that was doing it, and
It was like, they did it like it was wrestling or WWF wrestling
Yeah.
or something. But like, in the end, it was to the death, so one of the two would die.
Oh.
He's like, I'm too young for that, guys.
I always watch Ridiculousness. Is that way beyond that?
that was way later. Like Celebrity Deathmatch was like
It was like
20
the
years
90s.
ago.
Or you get home from
Nice.
school and you see all the MTV music videos.
Yeah,
going.
that's what it was.
Like, I'm pretty sure I was watching this at your house.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
when we were teenagers.
Yeah, you were. So this
It
was like 25 years ago.
Like the same era Beavis and
Blake's
Butthead
I was
originally.
5.
Blake was not watching Celebrity Deathmatch.
Same era Beavis and Butthead originally came out.
Right. Yep. No,
Because I
but
joined the 30 Club back in February.
there you go. Yeah.
Haha, you're old.
Right.
Baby.
I
No.
remember when I turned 30. I was like, I haven't done anything with my life.
It was
Nothing's been accomplished.
But I was still bald as shit and probably super gray.
I wasn't great, but I was definitely bold. But it was just like, I haven't accomplished anything. My life sucks. Here I am, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, 43, and I'm like, I've done a lot. This still sucks.
You just have to keep doing.
I've accomplished lots. Now what do I do to accomplish things? World domination?
Yes.
God, that sounds like so much fucking work.
Do it.
I feel like I'm
Run
gonna
for
go home.
president. There you go.
I'm gonna go home and watch Celebrity
God, I don't want
Deathmatch.
everybody to hate me.
I think it's probably on the Paramount.
Paramount, or you can pirate it off YouTube, I'm sure.
I know.
It was like Robot Chicken before Robot Chicken. How's that for an idea? For like the level of ridiculousness.
Paramount has Beavis and Butthead, and they also have Daria. So I bet they would have. I think they have Celebrity Deathmatch.
I'll have to look it up then.
Oh, absolutely! Like you'd be easy to get a hold of.
It's very dated now, I'm sure, but it still works.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you recognize the, I think a lot of the celebrities are definitely very recognizable. You would probably, especially if you like looked, it would probably be like they would do the headlining celebrities. So like in the description, you could be like, "Oh, I recognize them," and then you could just watch that episode.
Like,
I'm sure there's some that were just relevant to that time or whatever.
Right.
Maybe
Like,
you don't know.
Kurt Cobain, right?
Nirvana.
Oh, yeah.
The-
Nirvana, not the.
Yeah, the guy from Nirvana, the one who offed himself with a shotgun.
Oh, I thought he electrocuted himself with a guitar, or was that someone else?
It's probably somebody else. No, he like committed suicide by a shotgun blast to the head. If there would have been a celebrity death match at him, he would have went in there with a shotgun, and they would have had enough taste just to have him off himself with a shotgun.
Wasn't
Yeah.
the theory that his wife killed him though?
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
a theory that
His wife Courtney Love drove him to it because he was a bitch.
You guys, I know I shouldn't talk about it today, but you had a lot of celebrity murders back in the day, didn't you?
yeah.
Well, back in the day, mental health. Back in the '90s in particular, mental health and things weren't exactly.
It wasn't cared about. It was like, "Oh, you fucking feel sad, you pussy.
Yeah,
Go
that's
kill
pretty
yourself."
much
That's
how
what
it
it was.
You fucking sad, pussy. You're depressed.
Therapy.
Go
Right.
fucking
What?
therapy.
Oh, you're a loser if you go to therapy.
Therapy. I'm gonna do drugs about this. Fuck
Right?
this.
Yeah, that's what
Now
it
we're on
was.
the other extreme. Everything's therapy.
Yeah.
I tell people my bartenders, my therapy is the same price.
Hey, you know what? It probably is.
Yeah.
You sit at the bar.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. I had some lady hop in my car the other day, and she's like, "This is the first time I'm doing an Uber," and I can't remember what she was talking about. She just had a vent.
Was she doing like taxi cab confessions?
Kind of like she
I
was.
sucked at 12 dicks before I got in this car.
She
There were
was.
4 that
She was mostly just venting.
my stomach's full of 35 gallons of semen.
We
But-
know what Ron's taxi cab
Right.
confessions sound like now.
But it was she was
They might
venting.
never make it home.
There you go. Right. She
Oh,
was.
you'll make it home all right. Just remember, ass gas and grass. Nobody rides for free.
There we go. So, well, I was gonna say he
I'll
gave
give
close
you
to.
head, and then I'll drive you.
Blake, I'm driving a stick shift. You're gonna have to shift that stick for me.
but
I know.
but no, that lady
Are
wanted
you
to.
going to Troy?
No. He's like, well, guess I'm spending the night at your house, Ariana. You're going to take me to work in the morning? But no, that lady wanted to vent, and then she, like, apologized for it. And I was like, no, man. I was like, everybody just hops in here and turns this to their own personal therapist. It's cool. And then she was like, oh, okay. Like, That's just how people do it. It's pretty interesting.
Well, that's how you get some of your best stories, though, right?
Yes, it is sometimes. But so what do we describe this as, and how do we rate this one?
It tastes like a basic beer, bitch.
I think it does, but only smooth. Like it's lagery.
Yeah.
Nothing exciting, but it's a solid lager.
There are things you could crush after
Yeah.
New York.
Solid lager.
I think it
It's light.
and usually it seems like typically like the more beer you drink, the better that beer gets because like you kind of become desensitized to the flavor. It would be really easily.
Like, I feel like if I was at a St. Louis steak restaurant and if they were serving this would definitely be something I'd go for.
Because thinking about it, I think I've seen that a lot of like at bars in St. Louis. Like that's one of the. But you kind of. I don't go there enough to know like the top of my head.
Well, I hear things about like Cincinnati being one of the big craft beer cities in the country, and I think about that, and I'm like, I know a lot of this is the 513 group and things like that helping to promote it. There's different breweries. I just wonder, like, St. Louis has like these styles, and I just wonder, like, is that all they know? Do they have like like I was talking about earlier, the marshmallow, caramel, suck my nuts, whatever.
You know what? I don't. There's one that does donuts. I almost brought it, but my mom likes it so much. She's like the biggest sour freak there is. So,
Like I said, I just wondered if that's like
but
just
their sours are a lot different than ours is.
really.
I don't know, but also we get like my mom says like she said it's hard to beat Urban Artifact sours because
they are really good
because they know it's not artificial. They're actually putting that in there. And she kind of helped me point out like you can taste artificial on some of the fruit stuff they put in.
Well, like artificial strawberry, artificial grape, watermelon. You can tell those fake flavors real quick, real fast.
But
Before we do anything else, Ron, you are hogging the fucking fan. You have it blown right on you.
Seriously, it's hot as
You
fuck
push
over
it
here.
away a little bit, like, and point it at everyone. And everybody gets it, not just sitting with a fan blowing on your nuts.
Tired of smelling your nuts over here.
But my nuts are lovely, but they are sweaty.
That feels so much better. Oh my god. I was like, it's hot in here.
Look
Should
at
we?
poor Blake. He's sweating.
I was like,
fine.
shouldn't we have some fucking airflow? I'm like, well, we could have airflow if Ron's fat ass wasn't in front of it. And the fan touching his leg.
I'm guarding it from the dogs.
No. You're guarding it from everybody. It feels so much better in here.
Now it's hotter.
No, it feels great.
I'm in a factory, so it's okay.
So when we hit that fun part of the summer where it's fuck you hot, like 80s and 90 degrees and all this other shit.
It was 81 degrees upstairs earlier.
Yeah.
And I don't have AC, so.
Welcome to the fun part of summer,
So
kids.
I think I'll rank that at 3.5.
I was thinking that or 3.75.
That's a normal lager rating.
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, we'll go with a 3. Don't like it, don't hate it.
Yeah.
Missy, what'd you say?
I'll get a 3.5 too. I was thinking a 3.75, but I think it's just right down the middle. Like,
I got lager, basic beer, bitch, light. Is there anything?
carbonation.
But St. Louis does have IPAs. They do have some hazies, but a lot of their breweries are German based because Anheuser-Busch was German.
Right.
Well, like,
And
that would-
there's a huge German presence there, but there's also a great St. Patty, like Irish. There's also like a New Orleans.
well, like,
I mean, they got pretty much everything.
Anheuser-Busch, clearly I'm sure that there was a lot of smaller breweries back in the day before Anheuser-Busch, became the big company they are now.
Yeah.
Because, Anheuser and Busch would have had to have been either two separate families that brewed, that came together, one bought out the other, that sort of a thing. But
When InBev bought them, one thing I've heard is that they fired a lot of the brewers, and then the brewers went off and started their own.
yeah,
So, hence.
but that would have also been, they would have been used to brewing for Anheuser-Busch and that, very consistent style that they do. So that's where they got their education and their style, and, inspired by that. So they're, working off that as like their starting point, antithesis. I don't know, words.
Like, if you ever go to St. Louis, even though they're not craft, I suggest you go to them at least once in your life. Because it's a fun tour. You get a free beer at the end.
Oh, I would definitely want to see how.
And also you get a fresh, like, Budweiser off the tap, which...
That would be awesome.
I went to that. It was cool.
That would be
Like,
cool.
I would definitely be down for that. I mean, I used to work at the Dan and Yogurt Factory and saw how all that shit was done. It was mind blowing. I've been into a tour of like the Hershey factory, and that was cool. So I would imagine a tour of that plus free beer would be fucking awesome.
Right.
Plus, you get to see some Clydesdales, which
Yeah,
they're
like
kind of
the
cool.
stables and shit.
Hell yeah, that would be
And that
awesome.
place is like cleaner than my house. Like their
Oh.
stables are cleaner than.
Oh hell yeah, that's awesome.
The only thing I don't like about InBev is some of the breweries they bought, then they totally destroy them, and you don't see them again, like Platform.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Well,
that's,
The
that's
platform
the
was
only
really
thing I don't-
good. One of my
Yeah,
favorites.
that was their biggest mistake.
Like, one of the things that just entertains the hell out of me, so since I did my home and shit, they actually own Northern Brewer. They just does a whole shit ton of supplies for homebrew stuff. But they actually own them, and it's like, I know they're trying to get their hands as many things as they can. keep
Maybe they're
making
just
as
trying
much
to
money.
destroy it all. They're
Well,
just trying to destroy the craft beer shit so they
Take
can
it over.
You need to take over the world, Ron, so Budweiser doesn't.
That's right.
Okay, I will try. I mean, you know, when I was at Dan and I was getting burned the fuck out, I very much wanted to start a brewery, but there wasn't the financial there.
misBEERhavior!
misBEERhavior!
Like, subscribe, share.